So today we're presenting two artists, both of which are based in London. This is Yuri Pattison, where we're showing two video installations and then a pair of sculptures at the back there, along with works by Philomene Pirecki, where she has these framed collage works and then this sculptural installation as well. We wanted to show these two artists because they share similar concerns with their work and with their practice, but take them in slightly different directions. But for these works, they, well, for example, Yuri Pattison's work here is, he's been researching a lot about the effects of technology on our day-to-day life and like physical effects as well. So specifically in these works we have in the booth, he's interested in the effects of the blue light from LED screens, commonly found in monitors, TVs, like smartphones. And this blue light in the LED suppresses the production of melatonin in the brain. And melatonin is a hormone which is released naturally when the sun begins to set. And after it's fully set, it's released, and basically it's a hormone that helps you relax, decompress, and sleep. So the more and more that we have to work in our everyday lives, we spend a lot more time working, a lot more time in front of our computer screens or our smartphones, engaging in our social networks or in emailing. That's having an effect on our sleep patterns, which is in turn having an effect on our day-to-day, our happiness, our health. So he's been exploring the ways of kind of correcting that phenomenon. So there's technology being developed at the moment which will reduce the amount of blue light given off by certain equipment. So for example, the monitor in this piece here has attached to it a small device which, after the sun goes down, will reduce the amount of blue light in the film. And it becomes a bit more yellow, essentially. And this film specifically it's the sunset down the Infinite Corridor in MIT, the University in Massachusetts, which was where the hormone melatonin and its effects was first kind of discovered and researched, and that was in 1995. The sunset down the corridor was first discovered by a student at MIT in 1975, and since then it's become like an annual event where students and professors would come together to watch this meteorological event. So he was kind of interested in kind of tying together these ideas of sleep and work and research, and he found a perfect example with MIT and this event. The similar, oh yeah, I forgot about that. This is a vaporizer which contains a melatonin solution. So it's actively kind of pumping out melatonin into the surroundings. So it's kind of easing us into sleep as we speak. The similar ideas are kind of elaborated more in this sculpture, which contains more of the extrapolated components of the technology, of the equipment. So here we have a LED backlight, which is commonly found in the monitors used. And here is a transparent monitor without backlight. So you can see how important the LED backlight is for the functionality of this technology. But then also, he's interested, these effects do have a physical effect on us. And this is the original poster that was produced to kind of announce the MIT Henge event, drawing parallel with the kind of the pagan ritual of like celebrating the sun at Stonehenge, which is a British rural place. Again, we have here Melatonin Vaporizer.
It smells like vanilla.
Yeah, it's been mixed, I think, with another flavor.
Okay.
So in various places, these vaporizers have become a lot more common to kind of counteract like various kind of environmental effects. So, say if it's bad pollution, or if there's not the best kind of quality of air, workers would use these machines to kind of help them and aid them in their day-to-day kind of activities. So yeah, with these specifically, Yuri's used melatonin. So again, addressing this idea of kind of having a good night's sleep, essentially. Just because he's interested in perhaps a kind of commodification of our time, whether sleep is becoming more and more of a luxury that's really hard to have, and only a few could have a good night's sleep, or perhaps sleep is a weakness. So on the flip side of melatonin, you also have other pharmaceuticals which would help to keep you awake and keep you alert and keep you working. So there's this kind of balance between how we can control our bodies. And then with the work of Philomene Pirecki, which are these works here, she's also interested in like the body as well, and also time. So she's included elements within these works which like the little materials. So here we have like a hairband, earplug, and a piece of chewing gum. So these are objects which are manipulated by the body, manipulated for the body, and kind of work with the body in various ways. So she's kind of interested in the bodily experience of time. As you can see here in like a pull-out from her Instagram feed, which reads, "It's okay, we're all heading in the same direction." And within the picture, she has a leaf on her hand, which is, it's kind of obviously, it's in autumn and it's fallen off the trees and it's decomposing. So she's kind of drawing a parallel between like bodily time and natural time. Also within Philomene Pirecki's work, she uses a lot of, she likes to return to her own works, her own archive of images, and they become another material for her to use. So for example, in this piece, this is a reproduction from an earlier photographic work, and as is this. And so her photographic work tends to kind of capture the moment of the photograph being made, the photographer, and the surrounding space, essentially the spatial environment. And she'll return again and again to these images and document them, and they'll become more and more complex as they kind of gain further layers of themselves and the actions of photographing them. Also in these works, she likens them to water, essentially, water as a substance, as a material which doesn't really has like a non-fixed state. So it can be liquid, it can be gas, it can be solid and ice. And so these ideas of impermanence and transformation are very important to her. You can also see that in her sculpture, which directly includes like ice cubes and like water droplets. This piece in particular includes various elements which allude to different aspects of time. So there's materials and images which relate to quartz time. So quartz time was one of an earlier measures of time. So using quartz crystals, they can measure the vibrations, which will give them an accurate time. But then that has been superseded by atomic time, essentially. So she's interested in our changing relationships with time, and also explores that within her work. So here again, she has a photograph of a painting which she no longer has in her possession. It may have been sold, it may have been gifted, it may have been destroyed, but she's keen to explore the use of images and the use of the archive and the various values of which we attribute to images or to the original thing. Other elements in this sculpture include a small block of pulped artworks and notes, which you see here on the base of the sculptural platform. So that's gathered in a studio over time, and it's an ongoing process where she'll kind of gather together kind of rejected artworks or rejected notes and then turn them into something else. And they usually act as props or support within new works. So she's very much interested in like returning to her previous works to kind of explore new ideas.
Great, thank you. It's very interesting.
Thanks.
And you are work a long time with the artist?
Yes, we have. So we originally began as a project space in London. We opened in 2008, and we functioned as a project space for 5 years. And we worked with Philomene during that time, and we were all about kind of developing projects and developing works of the artists and getting them to experiment and kind of push the boundaries of their practice. And over the years, we kind of grew alongside the artists we were working with, and we felt we wanted to continue that relationship on. So we set up as a commercial gallery in 2013, and Philomene Pirecki was actually the inaugural exhibition at that time.